As Bill O'Reilly once said, we'll do it live. It's Rick Kamla. It's Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. Our great producer Andre Lemouche is with us as well. What's up, basketball world? It's your boys, okay? It's like a medium-sized Tuesday night. We're going to break it all down for you. We got the trade deadline right around the corner. We got all the spin and all the goodies that you need. So before we dive in with our Magic Man and we hear from Hall of Famer Steve Alexander, a quick word from our sponsor, Bet Online. The biggest betting weekend of the year is finally here, which means more updated odds and props for Super Sunday. Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. We have hundreds of prop bets, MVP odds, and exclusive in-game live betting. Bet Online is your ultimate game day companion. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, Bet Online offers you everything and more to enhance your game day experience. Visit the website today and make the game day action count a little bit more. Bet Online. The game starts here. Doc, who is your Magic Man from Tuesday night?
Well, the New York Knickerbockers got a big win against the Toronto Raptors in Canada on Tuesday night. Karl-Anthony Towns went off for 27 points, 20 rebounds, a block, 2 threes, 2 assists, 10 of 19 shooting, 5 of 5 free throws. Just a kind of rock solid, fun fantasy line from Cat. A little 2020. You know what? I mean, if the Knicks, they're 34-17. If they keep winning, he's gonna get some MVP votes. He's having an incredible season. Him and Jalen Brunson both. So, props to Cat. That's who I'm going with. There were other guys I could have picked, but I went with Cat.
It wasn't like we didn't have all of these nuclear performances tonight. I like the Cat call, Doc. I do. He's third on my MVP list right now. It goes SGA, then Jokic, then Cat, then Wemby, and then Giannis. That's how I have my top 5 stacked right now. Tatum would be number 6 for you Bostonians. Hey, where's my guy Tatum? Tatum is having a Tatum year. There's nothing like extraordinarily special about Tatum's year, and frankly, his shooting has been down a little bit. I'm nitpicking here. Boston's obviously very, very good, but he'd be number 6. But he is not a top 5 MVP guy for me right now. Wemby is in there, and to me, rightly so. My Magic Man, Doc, is Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid graced us with his presence on Tuesday night. He came back to work. He did. And Joel Embiid's been calling out, it's like, Doc, if you work at, I don't know, a restaurant, right? Maybe you're a waiter, right? Or a server, as they call it now. And this, he asked out again. Oh my God, he asked out again. So now you've got like all of these extra tables, and it's a buzzkill every single night, right? He came back tonight. Joel Embiid played basketball. And very impressively, he played basketball here in a win at home over the Dallas Mavericks, who suck, but it is what it is. He had 29 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. How do you miss 800 games in a row and come back with a triple-double? Very, very impressive to me. He made 12 of 23 shots. He's going to miss Wednesday night's game, the back-to-back thing, which very, very predictable. But shout out to Joel Embiid. Now, Joel, play ball, okay? Play ball. It's not that hard. Just play, okay? Stop licking your wounds. And look, dude, they're 20-29, which sucks, but they're still very, very play-in tournament eligible. And you've got Embiid, you've got Maxey. If Paul George comes back, you've got some good role players. Like, they're going to sell themselves that they could make a move, right? I'm not buying it. But you can't tell them in that locker room that they can't do it. That's how ball players are wired. We also had a major fantasy development here, Doc, with Gershon Yabusele. He is now guaranteed of rest of season value. Should be rostered in every league, okay, with the CPF eligibility. He had 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. Made 7 of 8 shots, played 35 minutes. Embiid played 36 minutes, okay? So he's the 4. When Embiid's out, he's going to be the center, okay? When Embiid's in, he's still going to be in the starting lineup at the power forward spot. This was a huge win here tonight rotationally for Gershon Yabusele.
It was, and I actually like him better in this role than I do at center when Embiid's not in there. Yabusele was a hot pickup when Embiid was out, and he had some good games. He had some bad games. It was what it was, but I like them featuring him as the power forward on this team, and I hope they keep doing it because I like his game, man. He hits threes. He does big man work. He's a fun player. And Tyrese Maxey could have been your Magic Man with 33 and 13. Big win for the Sixers. They needed to win this game.
They certainly did. Tyrese Maxey is on a major roll right now. 6 straight 30-plus point games. But shout out to Yabu, who, go pick him up, guys. Just do it. Take our recommendation here. And let me look at what he's rostered in Yahoo leagues. I bet it's not a ton. He is at 37% rostered. He should be way more than that. Doc, PJ Washington missed this game tonight with personal reasons after missing a game with a knee injury. So hopefully he can get back to work here pretty soon. Maybe it's a new child or something like that. We just don't know. But what I know is this. Outside of Kyrie Irving and Daniel Gafford, Dallas is a mess, okay? They're like a glitzier brand name version of the Brooklyn Nets, all right? Najee Marshall, activated tonight, played well. You can't count on it. Max Christie in his first game as a Mavs, played very, very well. But to me, you can't count on it. Dinwiddie, now coming off the bench, time to send him back to waivers. And a week from now, Jason Kidd will put him back in the starting 5 and pump fake us for the 18th time this year. Dante Exum is back in the starting 5 for Dinwiddie, playing 20 minutes, 14 points, whatever he did, right? Then you have Klay Thompson. Remember him? Okay, so that's 5 guys, Doc. 5. I didn't even mention Jaden Hardy. Okay, Quentin Grimes was shipped out. And Caleb Martin now is coming to the Dallas Mavericks. So that's another guy to add to that odd mix if you're going to play about 20 minutes and do nothing statistically. But the Mavericks are a mess right now, Doc.
Well, you didn't even mention Anthony Davis. When he comes back, what's he going to do to Gafford? I mean, is Daniel Gafford a sell high right now? Kind of. I mean, they're going to play together. AD wants to play the 4, right? He wants to play power forward. So they're going to leave Gafford out there. But Derek Lively, is Lively out?
He's out for a long time.
Yeah.
It's like 3 months or something like that. Like a long time. They didn't rule him out for the year, but he's out like several months, yeah.
All right. So Gafford, I think, takes a little bit of a hit once AD is back. But man, Dallas is a mess. And why are we playing Dante Exum over Spencer Dinwiddie? The way Jason Kidd has used Spencer Dinwiddie this year, I'm having trouble getting my head around that. Quick note on Daniel Gafford. He suffered a shoulder injury in this game. I believe he came back and finished, but I don't know that for sure. Andre? Did Dan Gafford return to this game? If Gafford's shoulder...
He said he went to the locker room and status to be determined.
Okay. So Gafford got hurt tonight. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, Dallas... I mean, Kessler, Edwards, really? Klay Thompson, 12 points. Thanks, buddy. Great job. I don't. Some guy named Kylor Kelly. Max Christie played good. I want Max Christie to play well for Dallas.
He played well on this night, okay, in his Mavs debut. Doc is higher on Max Christie than I am. Max Christie, to me, is going to get caught up in this. You score 5 points one night, you score 15 points the next night. Dallas soup. Because Najee Marshall, after 15 or 17 tonight's going to go back to like 6 in the next game. It's just how it goes, man. These guys are not going to gain consistent traction for you. That's how I view it. So yeah, Daniel Gafford was on his way to a good game, 12-6 with a couple of blocks, and the shoulder derailed that. And so, sell high, I don't know. Like, to me, he's like 87% rostered. He's a really solid player. The numbers recently are magnificent, but Like if you hit me with like an offer for Daniel Gafford, I'm like, yo, they just traded for Anthony Davis, bro. I know his numbers are coming down. So to me, you probably just ride it out with Daniel Gafford here and get what you get. Let's talk about Boston and Cleveland, Doc. Boston won this game, and we called this, okay? You and I both loved Boston plus 2.5. Yeah, Boston got 2.5 points. They led the entire game. They had Cleveland at arm's length in Cleveland the whole game. Okay, so the Celtics got a cover for us. That moves me to 15-12 ATS on the year. Total team effort by the Celtics. But what really stood out to me, Doc, Al Horford had a double-double off the bench. And their bigs, Boston bigs, outplayed the Cleveland bigs, okay? Which is very noteworthy based on how dominant Mobley and Allen have been this year. Mobley and Allen both shrunk in this game. Garland and Mitchell were fantastic, which is a bit ironic because the bigs just sort of always do their thing. And in Garland and Mitchell, you would think against Derek White, Drew Holiday, who I think Drew Holiday is trending towards overrated, trending towards he's
irrelevant.
You know what I mean? Like big name, big accomplishments, but the game is like, dude, he is right on the waiver wire line right now, Doc.
He is irrelevant.
Bro, he's
irrelevant.
like 11 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, not even a block, not even a steal, like 1.8 threes, like, ew. Like, that's a waiver wire line, but he's got this name attached to it, so you don't want to drop him. It's a real conundrum, dude.
Remember when Derek White went to the Celtics and we're all like, oh, there goes. Or when Drew Holiday went to the Celtics, we're like, well, there goes Derek White. Derek White's toast. I mean, that was sort of like the overwhelming thought. Like, how are those two going to coexist? And Derek White is way better in fantasy than Drew Holiday. Like, it's not even close.
Not even close.
It's crazy. I have a hot take.
Hit me.
I think the Cavaliers are trending down.
Do you think they peaked too early? Do you think they peaked too early, bro?
Absolutely, I do. I think they peaked too early. I think they did some of it with smoke and mirrors. Boston's going to win the East, I think. And Cleveland, I don't think they'll fall behind the Knicks. But I don't think they're going to be thought of as this incredible team like they were 2 or 3 weeks ago when they were still like doing crazy things. They're an incredible home team in Cleveland, even though they got beat there tonight. But I feel like they're a little bit overrated, kind of like Drew Holiday.
I've got Drew Holiday in the Cam Dynasty, which is a 14-team dynasty league. And, Doc, I am telling you, man, he is so close. I can't bring myself to cut Drew Holiday yet. I can't. And we've got 6 IL spots in our league. So you've got that optionality to move guys around. So I haven't really been in that spot where, damn, I'm really backed up against the wall here and I got to make a move. So I'm hanging in there with him, right? But I nailed the stat line. 11, 4, and 4. He's out 1 steal, amazingly, and 1.8 threes. Okay? If that stat line was attached to Spencer Dinwiddie, I'm telling you right now, he is so flushed. He is so sent back to waivers. But because it's Drew Holiday on it, I'm hanging in there with him. And here's the thing. Even when other guys are out, Tatum's out, White's out, Brown's out, Drew Holiday does not activate. Right? He's not like Yabusele when Embiid's out. He's not like Oubre when George is out. Bobby Portis when Giannis is out. He's not this automatic activation guy. He'll still go out there and have 9 damn points, even when guys are out of the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say this, but Drew Holiday is way better for the Celtics than he is in fantasy, and he looks kind of washed. You know, I'm just saying.
He makes corner threes, and I just don't think he's bringing it on the defensive end like he used to either. I did miss on the Jason Tatum point prop over tonight. I told you, 27.5, 28.5, play the over. He had 22 tonight. I thought this was going to be a 30-point game. from Jason Tatum. He was averaging 33 against Cleveland coming into the game. So we did swing and miss on that one. You ready to move on to Houston and Brooklyn, Doc?
I want to backtrack and go back to Daniel Gafford for just a second.
Yeah, what's up?
Because Andre gave us more intel. So Gafford got hurt at the end of the game, went straight to the locker room with a left shoulder injury. He's holding his shoulder. He's like, oh, he's in pain. Goes to the locker room. We've seen shoulders, man. We have seen shoulders. So I'm just saying.
Julius Randle last year comes to mind. Remember the game against Miami? You immediately went, oh my God, my shoulder. And we didn't see him again, dude.
And my wife broke her shoulder. Jalen Johnson's shoulder. Like, if you can't do stuff with your shoulder, you can't do anything. So I'm hoping for the best. But I'm just telling you, if you have Gafford, you might want to brace yourself to see what news we get tomorrow, because I don't like the fact that he just went straight to the locker room. Like, he didn't think about it. You know what I'm saying?
Doc, Anthony Davis might have to play the 5 in Dallas. You think about that. Derek Lively out. What if Daniel Gafford has a significant injury? God forbid.
Yeah, and so AD at center and PJ Washington at the 4.
There you go. And then a bunch of guards. I don't really think that Dwight Powell, I don't think Jason Kidd can go back to Dwight Powell here. Maxi Kleber, by the way, is injured, but he's also a Laker now. Andre Lamouche said they can always start Powell, because, of course, Jason Kidd has this weird affinity for Dwight Powell. Dwight Powell is Dwight Powell. I would believe you would start Anthony Davis. Or maybe, Doc, you just start Dwight Powell and play him like the token 4 minutes, get him off the floor, and so you can tell Anthony Davis right there, you're my 4, bro. But then, like, the whole rest of the game, he's playing in the hole at the 5, right? Maybe, I don't know. Jason Kidd has weird rotations he has for years, so something to monitor moving forward. All right, are you now ready to move on to Houston at Brooklyn?
I am.
My guy. That is Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. I'm Rick Kamla. We are the Fantasy NBA Today Ethos After Dark. We're live, yo. It's almost 1 a.m. Eastern time, and we're vibing on our beloved NBA. This is what we do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night. We have a different schedule this week. We've got a full trade deadline show for you, like all day long, starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So we will not be on Wednesday night, but we will have wall-to-wall coverage for you on Thursday. We want to thank you guys for watching us, the Fantasy NBA Today podcast. Help us out. Go to sportsethos.com and subscribe. And if you're watching us on the YouTube channel or whatever platform you're watching us on, please subscribe to the podcast and leave us a 5-star review. Doc, the Brooklyn Nets just swept our beloved Houston Rockets. They just swept them. Brooklyn went into Houston over the weekend and beat them. And Houston lost at Brooklyn tonight. Okay, I didn't, when we talked about this on Monday, I didn't really go into point spread stuff. I just said Houston's winning this game. I was wrong. They didn't win this game. Okay, and Alpi Şengün came back in this game quickly. Our guy Keon Johnson, is he a must add? For me, no, but he will be. Okay, once silly season really erupts for Brooklyn. I mean, hell, it's already silly season. I mean, we're counting on Bunam and Day'Ron Sharp and all these guys. Silly season's pretty much already hit Brooklyn. Keon Johnson, 22-4-2, 1 block, 2 steals, and 3 threes. Really good stat line. He is about, I believe, to crank it up as long as the minutes are there. But Doc, Alpi Şengün came back tonight, and he didn't just come back. He came back and flexed. And even in a loss, if you're on the Houston side, you got Alpi Şengün back, dude, because he was out with that calf injury. And anytime you see calf, it gets a little murky. So it was really cool to see him back out there and flourishing.
It was. It absolutely was. And I'll tell you what, the Nets suck at tanking. They beat Charlotte Wednesday. They beat Houston Saturday. They beat Houston on Tuesday. They've won 3 straight. How annoying is that? Keon Johnson, Rick. Here's his last 6 games. 20 points. 1 steal. 22 points. 3 steals. 10 points. No steals. 18 points, 2 steals and a block. 13 points, no steals. 22 points, 2 steals. He scored in double figures in 6 straight games. He's playing 30 whatever minutes a night, like 34 minutes a night right now. Now is the time to go get Keon Johnson before it's too late. The Nets silly season is here. It just is. How they beat Houston in back-to-back games is mind-boggling. And the fact they won this one tonight especially blows my mind because Şengün was back. They're pissed off about the loss on Saturday, and they beat him again. And I think part of it was Keon playing well, but part of it, I don't even really have a great take on this. I didn't get to watch the game. I was watching Amen Thompson's stat line, and while he put up a ton of fantasy points because he had 2 blocks, 4 steals, he also had 7 turnovers and just 7 points. I think that's probably why Houston lost the game. Amen needed to be a rock star tonight because he's been a rock star for a month, and he just wasn't. Jalen Green was average, hit 5 of 14 shots, scored 13 points. Dylan Brooks scored 16 but didn't do anything else. It was really Şengün and a bunch of weird stuff. So maybe the Nets just have Houston's number. I don't know.
Weird stuff like this happens. This is clearly an anomaly. Houston now has lost 4 games in a row. Not good. So, Doc, I do want to talk about Reed Sheppard. All right, Aaron Holiday started and very oddly only played 14 minutes, did not score a point. Reed Sheppard was very good. He had 16 points, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals, and 3 threes. Goody line. In 28 minutes. He made 5 of 14 shots, but I don't care about that. Doc does, and many of you do. I do not. I don't understand at this point, Doc, why Reed Sheppard wouldn't just start. Okay, he played great in the summer league. If memory serves, he had some big games in the preseason, or at least some like good stretches. Early in the season, he had some decent games, and then it just went away. So like, I get the old school approach, but like, what is Aaron Holiday bringing to the equation here? Okay, he's a pretty gritty defensive guy, but he's not super skilled. The guy's a freaking bench player. I'm sorry, he's like a 3rd point guard, right? Reed Sheppard was the 3rd pick in the draft. Start this guy. Dude, Reed Sheppard is a talented badass who just needs time. Like, and I get it. You're near the top of the West, and but think about this, Doc. Reed Sheppard could be a weapon, but you got to groom him and season him to get him to that point where he can be a weapon for the playoffs, as opposed to like, oh my God, I'm in the playoffs. What do I do now? You got to play to shake all that off. So, so are you picking up Reed Sheppard right now? Dude, Fred VanVleet is week to week. FVB is going to miss some time here, man. There is a hole at PG for the Houston Rockets. And I know Amen Thompson's going to do a lot of the point guard stuff. But in terms of a guy entering the starting 5 and maybe getting fantasy-friendly minutes here, talk to me about Reed Sheppard.
Well, Sheppard played the 4th highest amount of minutes on the team tonight. Came off the bench. Aaron Holiday got a token start because he's a veteran, right? Like, Ime Udoka's like that guy. But he's also like that guy, like, hey, guys, we've lost 4 in a row. We got to figure this out. Like, this is unacceptable. So I am kind of feeling Reed Sheppard right now. Tar Eason was out. Of course, VanVleet was out. Jabari Smith is still out. So it was kind of a weird night. I don't know why you just don't play Jalen Green, let Jalen Green handle the ball and play Whitmore or something. But the fact that Reed Sheppard got 28 minutes leaves me very intrigued. The main question I have is, why haven't we let Reed Sheppard develop this year? Like, why has he not played 18 minutes a night while you're kicking all these other teams' asses? I just don't fully understand that. But I think Reed Shepherd, especially in a deep league, man, like it's time. I think you have to think about picking him up because we don't know when we're going to see Van Vliet again.
In a 12-team league, I'm not. I need to see another one because this is the first Reed Shepherd. Okay, I'm gonna need a 1+1 here before I activate in a 12-team league. But 14 and above, he's a must. Let me. Go ahead.
I'll drop Eric Gordon and pick up Reed Shepherd immediately.
There you go. Good point.
Eric Gordon's hurt. Paul George has been out. Eric Gordon was actually playing decent. I have him in a deep league or two. I'll drop his ass to pick him up immediately. If you have somebody on your team that you don't mind cutting, go get Reed Shepherd and see what happens.
Dinwiddie, after getting benched tonight, I would do the Dinwiddie drop to go get a Reed Shepherd right now. Dinwiddie is so headed to the waiver wire. But I'm in a lot of Yahoo leagues, Doc, where you only get 4 pickups in the week time, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm not making – it's so hard for me right now, Doc. I'm basically just hitting like the start button where it just like populates your lineup, right? And then moving on, because if I start dabbling, I'm going to want to make some freaking pickups, right? But I only get 4, and I hate that in Yahoo leagues, but I do love Yahoo's platform. I hate that little wrinkle. But we got to keep open ads for Thursday when all the popcorn's going on and this guy's suddenly going to be playing 27 minutes a game and all that kind of stuff that we do. Tari Eason, by the way, it's no issue. He sat second of a back-to-back, and Ime Udoka said that he's not going to be cleared for back-to-backs. He's healthy, and they want to keep him healthy, so he's not going to be doing the back-to-back thing, Zion style. The New York Knicks and the Toronto Raptors played a basketball game on Tuesday night, and New York won 121-115. All right, what do I want to talk about here, Doc? I want to talk about there was no OG Anunoby, no RJ Barrett. Concussion knocked him out. Doc's magic man was Karl Anthony Towns. And Doc, I have a decent feel for Brunson and Cat right now. Right? Like I'm hitting you with this is going to be a Brunson game. This is going to be a Cat game. I'm like 3 of the last 4 picking this, okay? Because last night I said this is going to be a Cat game. He went out and had a monster game. So a 27-20. Man, it was the night of 2020s, huh? Brunson was very good with 28. Precious Achiuwa. We talked about the Precious Achiuwa Bowl, an angle that is unfreaking defeated. He went 17-8 with 2 assists, 2 blocks, 3 steals, and a 3. That might be the greatest damn stat line Precious Achiuwa has ever put up in a box score right there. What you got, dude, on New York's victory over Toronto?
Achiuwa, man. I want to talk about Achiuwa. He's been balling, dude. Well, no, it's every other game. He had 15 and 15 on Saturday. Then Monday, he had 7 points, 9 boards, 2 steals in 34 minutes. Tuesday, 17 and 8 with 2 blocks, 3 steals. January 27th, he had 14 points, 4 steals. He's been playing well. As long as OG Anunoby is out, you can start Precious Achiuwa in FanDuel, DraftKings, daily fantasy, weekly fantasy, like any fantasy lineup, as long as OG Anunoby is not there. I think Achiuwa is a good play right now. He should be he should be picked up. Short term pickup.
I hear you. I personally need, in a 12-team league, he's a streamer for me. I need to see more consistency, but I'm vibing on what you're saying, dude. We had a Jakob Poeltl injury tonight, Doc. Hip pointer. He played 15 minutes. Kelly Olynyk started the second half. And Doc, it is time. It is finally time to go to the waiver wire and pick up Kelly Olynyk. He had 11 points and 9 rebounds tonight, and he has a very fantasy-friendly game. He hits 3 balls, he gets blocks, he gets steals, not at a high rate, not like Gerald Wallace, okay? But he'll mess around with like a block and a steal and 2 threes. That's kind of like what you're looking for from Kelly O. He's going to flirt with double-doubles. He's going to have 3, 4, 5 assists. I'm a fan. Doc, I know you're a fan as well. And obviously it sucks about Pirtle getting hurt, but this opens the door for Kelly Olynyk. And so there's that. I think he's a very enticing pickup right now for people.
I like it. I'm going Achua. I'd rather pick up Achua until I see OG Anunoby. Just because Kelly Olynyk hasn't played more than like 22 minutes all year. And I just, he hasn't popped. Achua's popped. He had a 15 and 15. He had 2 steals and 4 blocks or whatever. Like, I'm riding Achua until OG Anunoby's back. After that's over, then I might go look at your guy Olynyk. He's my guy too. I love Kelly Olynyk, but he just hadn't played enough minutes yet for me to jump on board. I got Achua. You got Olynyk.
Nah, I mean, if you position it like that, I'll take Achua over Kelly O. Because like you said, dude, it's Toronto. Kelly Olynyk could start and play 24 minutes. They got Boucher, and they've got, I don't know who the heck else they have. But I just don't trust that Kelly Olynyk's going to be when you compare him to Achua. Okay, I think Kelly Olynyk can put up a nice fantasy line in 24 minutes. But we'd like it to get to 30, right? That's when you can really max out and start going 18, 10, and 6 and lines like that. But what I like about Achua, Doc, is that he plays for Coach Thibodeau, okay? And we know that Coach Tibbs is going to play his starters 35 minutes. Achua's going to play monster minutes. He did remember when Hartenstein got hurt last year, Achua entered the starting 5 for him. He was very good for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever that was when Hartenstein was out. So if you position Olynyk versus Achua, I would rather have Achua right now. All right. Are you ready to move on to Miami and Chicago, Doc, and talk about the Matas Buzelis Bowl?
Yes, I am. Yes.
All right. He was on the fence there for a minute. We got him up. All right. For Chicago wins this game tonight, by the way. 4 players for the Bulls with 20 points. Matas Buzelis spiked with his shaggy, floppy hair with a 20-plus point game. Josh Giddey is rolling right now, guys. Ever since Zach LaVine was shipped out, Josh Giddey's like, it's my time, yo. Ayo Dosunmu was fantastic. He had just a vicious block on, I believe it was Tyler Hero. Who was that had the rock from Miami? I think it was Hero, but just went boop and like man-to-man defense, stayed in front of him and just went stamp right in his face. It was impressive, dude. Kobe White, little bit like he scored late to get over the point prop over that we touted on Monday night. He had 18 points late in the game, tacked on some free throws, and got up to 22. You got to love the late nail in the coffin free throws to make a point prop over, and that was good. We had the PRA over for Josh Giddey tonight, Doc, and let me look at his overall PRA. I know he scored 20 plus and had a really good line. Giddey went
had 24, 7, and 5, so that's 36.
7 and 5, 36. Boy, right on the number. I'm not sure if that went over or not, but we were on that one. We hit on Kobe White, and how much did Hero have tonight? Doc, Hero had for Miami 23. That's probably not a point prop. No, he's at 23-8 for the year. All right, so
23-8-9. He had 9 assists and 8 boards. That hit.
So, dude, this has been a good waiver wire night, right? We're talking about all these guys. What about Matas Buzelis, Doc? We're live. We're real time right now. People can make a move right now if they want. Matas Buzelis would be a guy that I might actually break my no pickup rule until trade deadline day for this particular week. I may break that rule to get Matas Buzelis because he's an exciting young player, man. And he's really, the arrow's going straight up for that guy.
I've been begging for Pat Williams to go away and for Buzelis to play. They both played 31 minutes tonight. Buzelis hit all 10 of his shots, scored 24. So that's fluky, Rick. He's not going to hit all 10 of his shots every night. But Pat Williams only hit 3 of 8 shots. Had half the stat line Buzelis did. Well, he had 10.7 boards, 4 assists. But, man, if I had Pat Williams on my roster, I would drop him for Buzelis right now. There's probably a lot of guys I would drop for Buzelis. The Bulls are so weird because they're starting Vooch, who is a center, and then they're basically starting 4 point guards and Vooch. Lonzo Ball, point guard. Kobe White, okay, shooting guard. I'll give you that. Also can play point. Ayo Dosunmu, combo guard. Josh Giddey, combo guard. So it's just a weird lineup. And they still beat Jimmy Butler and Pat Riley's Heat. Playing 4 guards and a center for all those minutes. And then Buzelis is a big man. Buzelis is fun. And this is what I've been waiting for. Let him play 30 minutes a night and let's see what happens. I think we're
Agreed,
there.
man.
I'm picking Buzelis up.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I like him more than Achua. I like him more than Kelly Olynyk. I probably like him more than anybody we brought up pickup-wise on this show. Very high in Matas Buzelis. Again, he's a big man with center and power forward eligibility, and he's a great combination of threes and blocks. I'm obsessed with big men who bring the threes and the blocks. Miles Turner, Brook Lopez. I'm not obsessed with Kristaps Porzingis because of the injury thing, but obviously when he's healthy, I'm obsessed with that. The 20 and 10, all the goodies that he brings. It is Rick Kamla and Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. We are Fantasy NBA Today, Ethos After Dark. So let's move on here.
Are we
Doc.
obsessed with Khalil Ware still?
Good question. Obsessed? Yeah, I wrote about him in the waiver wire article that's going to hit sportsethos.com here pretty soon, and I did put him in there, Doc, either under the category of double check, like just check and see if he's on waivers, and I think that's where I put him, or standard pickups. But he's in the article, okay, because I've noticed that some people have been dropping him. His numbers have tailed off significantly over the last week, but I've told you the mistake I made last year with Isaiah Hartenstein, okay? He got off to a kick-ass start, hit a wall. The numbers sucked for like a week, and I traded him. I kind of tried to sell high with him, right? Immediately, a buddy of mine that lives up in Manhattan was like, Hartenstein, he's a Knick. Boom, pounced on it, okay? And I was like, damn, that was fast. And I immediately had regret for trading him. Boom, Hartenstein comes back. Anthony Davis line after Anthony Davis line. Sometimes you can bail on a guy too soon, and I'm big on bailing on guys, okay? What have you done for me lately as in the last second, okay? But so I've learned my lesson with that. Khalil Ware, the last week does not define him. Over the previous month, okay, flirting with a double-double. We've got threes, we've got blocks. Really good stat line, okay? He had 17 and 12 tonight, made a three, had a steal, okay? So I'm a Khalil Ware guy. He actually, who lobbed to who? Khalil Ware lobbed to Bam Adebayo for a flush. Evan Mobley to Jared Allen style. I thought that was awesome. But Ware was 8 of 12 tonight. I am a Khalil Ware guy, Doc, and I think he's the Miami Heat 5 for the present, the future, and beyond. And I'm going to ride. He's a rookie, Doc. He's a rookie. They're not going to be great every game. They're going to have 2-3 games in a row where they kind of suck. They're rookies. They're figuring it out. But I think overall, we're going to be very happy with Khalil Ware does between now and the end of the year.
Do not cut Khalil Ware. Just don't do it. One last thing. Duncan Robinson got off to a hot start in this game, hit 2 threes, 3 of 5 shots, scored 8 points. He only played 11 minutes, dude. He went to the bench and he never came back. So he either made Coach Spoelstra mad or Jovic got hot.
No,
he decided he was going to play Jaime Jaquez this game. Like that kind of burned me. I had Duncan Robinson in my FanDuel lineup.
That blows, dude. He had, a hip issue that he was listed as probable for the game tonight. And so might have aggravated that hip, Doc, and that's what I would speculate and guess. Because he did come in on the injury report, played through it, tried to give it a go and couldn't last very long because Duncan Robinson's minutes have been very consistent. It's 23, it's 27, it's 25. If he's really got a heater, maybe it spikes up to 30. But to see him play 11, that's not a coaching decision, I think. I think that's an injury-related decision right there. So keep your eye on that. And if Duncan Robinson has to miss time, Doc, and frankly, I would think that he would, right? You're on the injury report. You're fighting to play. You come and play, and then you like doing something goes wrong. Probably going to miss a game or two. Do you think your boy Jovic, if that happens, do you think your boy Jovic enters the starting five? I know you've been hot on the must-add tip for Jovic. He had another good game tonight. The stat line's been really Denny Abdia-ish over the last, what would I say, 2 weeks or whatever. So where are you at with that? Actually, not 2 weeks. Over the last month, Jovic has been Denny Abdia-esque.
Yeah, we got to see what happens with this trade deadline and who the Miami Heat bring back for Jimmy Butler, if anyone. But Jovic, to me, is basically a must-add player, I think. I'd rather have Jovic. I trust Jovic more than I trust Buzelis, who we just talked about. And then Terry Rozier. Dude, what are you doing? 2 of 12, 5 points. You've got this gambling investigation going on. Miami is in a free fall right now. Jimmy Butler has destroyed that team.
He has. There's no doubt. I said it last year on NBA radio. Jimmy Butler has fractured or ruined Heat culture, whatever verb I use. But it's true. Jimmy Butler has killed Heat culture. Heat culture was the strongest culture in the game. Now it's not even close. It's kind of a laughing stock, right? It's kind of a punchline for me right now. I think
Heat culture is now like Heat gumbo, like hot gumbo. Thank you, Jimmy Butler.
Not sure what that meant, but I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna buy it. Doc, let's move on to Indiana and Portland. They balled late night, and your boy Cam. Dude, it is time to hop on the Blazer Express. It is Blazer Mania all over again. Doc, they're 22 and 29. Doc, they just keep winning, okay? And we told you all on Monday night, go ahead and play the Portland Trail Blazers at home against the Indiana Pacers. Both teams in the second of a back-to-back. Indiana with travel, obviously. Portland without travel. And a lot of schedule losses happen up in Portland. I'm looking at the notes from Monday night. All of that stuff came to fruition here, okay? Second of a back-to-back, tough travel situation, schedule loss. And you look at this, Doc, this is actually the definition of a schedule loss. 112 to 89? I mean, this is a devastation right here. This is a 23-point blowout.
Have
right?
you seen Tyrese Halliburton's stat line, Rick?
I just, dude, when on my 21st birthday, my buddies, my frat brothers in Sigma Nu fraternity, right? And I was a junior pledge, okay? So they took us all out. Me and this other dude turned 21 on the same night. It was cool. There were 12 frat brothers around this big long table at Foul Play. The Johnny B's, okay, of Frat Row at the University of Minnesota. Johnny B's is the bar that Doc A is always at. So Foul Play was our bar, right? So these guys give each of us 12 shots, okay? And like we had a party at the frat, right? Unsi. And so we went to this bar to do this shot thing and ring in our birthdays and stuff, okay? We left the party for that. Hotties and so I'm like, what are we doing here? Okay, we're getting you drunk. 12 shots, bro. We had to do 12 shots, okay? So I'm sitting there like I felt like I was going to explode, right? And so I go, I'll be right back. I went to the bathroom and it was one of those joints, dude. So that's what that evoked right there, dude. Pure and unadulterated vomit. Tyrese Halliburton, Doc. Oh, boy, you got to love stories of your 21st birthday, right? Tyrese Halliburton, 0 points in 25 minutes. Dude, you want to talk about going through the motion, Steph Curry style. That's all Tyrese Halliburton did tonight, dude. He put on a uniform and said, yo, I'm good.
6 assists. Just a bunch of nothing, man. The Pacers got worked in that game. I tell you what, Portland is on a heater. They are playing defense. The Pacers shot horribly in this game, I think. Well, they ended up at 42%, but it was a rough first half. And Miles Turner, by the way, came down very hard on his back. He stayed in the game, but watch for a Miles Turner back thing tomorrow because he hit the ground hard. And I was actually surprised he got up. No explosion from Pascal. No explosion from anyone. The bench did nothing. TJ McConnell was super active in this game because Halliburton decided to pretend like it was his 21st birthday in Minnesota. Just a horrible game from the Pacers. They're 28-21. Like, I don't really know what that's about. But the freaking Portland Trailblazers, I was on ESPN radio today, dude, and I jumped on your piggyback from last night, and I was like, I'm all in on Portland tonight. They're getting 5 points. They've won 5 straight. They're 9-1 in their last, or they're 8-1 in their last 9. Now I think they're won 9 of their last 10 now.
Yes,
and they played the part tonight, and it's everybody. It's Toumani Camara, it's Jeremy Grant, it's Denny Avdia, who had a terrible game tonight. He got benched in the first half, and he hardly played, and really didn't do much at all, which was disappointing. DeAndre Ayton was disappointing, but Simons played well. Shaden Sharp played okay. Scoot Henderson still getting it done off the bench. Had a really good game. Do not cut Scoot.
This shows a lot of the teams around the NBA what you could be if you decide to push your chips into the middle of the table. Utah comes to mind. If Utah played their guys and really went for it, they'd be so much better than they are right now. Brooklyn, if they're playing Cam Thomas and Cam Johnson, and I mean, they'd be better, right? Okay. But Portland, you can either go tanky or you can say, we've got a lot of good players. Kamara's a stud. Avdia's a stud. Grant's a stud. Ayton, when he wants to be, and he's revved up, is a stud. Simons is a stud. Shaden Sharp and Scoot Henderson are studs. That's 7 studs. How can you not win with 7 studs? Okay? Here's how you lose with that. You send out this vibe around the organization that we suck and we want to suck and we're thinking more about Cooper flagging the damn draft than we are about making the play-in tournament. It's a vibe that's created. It's an aura, okay? Well, that's not going on in Portland right now. They're obviously trying to make the play-in tournament. I don't like their chances of doing it, but they are still in that hunt, and they've won 9 of their last 10 games. And they're becoming one of the better stories of the NBA. Clearly on our show, Fantasy NBA Today, Ethos After Dark, there's all kinds of fantasy spin with this team. Scoot Henderson had another really nice game, and I echo what Doc said. There's like Isaiah Collier and Scoot Henderson just absolutely positively should not be on waivers in any league, okay? They're point guards. You don't get point guards off of waivers. You know who you get off of waivers? Wings, okay? Guys like Jovic, who are going 14, 5, and 5. I mean, it's a good stat line, okay? But point guards do really difference-making stuff. Collier's at 8 damn assists per game, man. Come on. You can't get that off the waiver wire, but he's available. Y'all should be picking him up. Doc, what? So let me just tell the people briefly here about the Sports Ethos app. We love it. We're proud of it. We want you guys to go to your favorite app store and download it, okay? There's individual player blurbs, which will help you who's in, who's out, who's hot, who's not. We got you covered there with all the fantasy goodies, NBA style, MLB style, and NFL style. I've already done 4 fantasy baseball drafts because I'm a nerd that way. Doc, what the F happened at Intuit Dome tonight? The Lakers beat the Clippers.
Before we do that,
go ahead.
Andre asked a question about, like, what do we do with the center rotation in Portland? Like, are you holding Donovan Clingan at this point?
No.
Do you have any interest in Robert Williams? Is it just all DeAndre Ayton all the time?
Yeah, because I'm not worried about a shutdown anymore. So yeah, Clingan and Robert Williams, they're dead to me. They're dead to me. Scoot Henderson would be dead to me, Doc, but he's kicking ass off the bench because Chauncey Billups is going with a Thibodeau-esque 7-man rotation, right? It's like a 7.5-man rotation. But the way he's playing Scoot and Sharp, they still have value because they're getting consistent, half the game minutes off the bench.
Well, and my thing is, Robert Williams is going to play one night, Klingon's going to play the other, and that's just the way it is. So it's
Robert
hard.
Williams. Pardon me, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what Andre just said. Yeah, I mean, they're just going to play one of them.
So Williams started the second half here. I believe this is a trade audition thing. They knew that they had Indiana cooked at this moment in time. And let's show some teams some Robert Williams here as we try to trade him. So that's my vibe on that. But to me, DeAndre Ayton, the numbers have been very, very good. It's been cool to see him dominating when it actually matters.
Did you see the Donovan Mitchell dunk over Kristaps Porzingis tonight?
Mm-hmm.
That was nasty.
Yes,
nasty.
It was.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. I think it's Klingon one night, it's Williams the next. They play 18 minutes, and that's it. And, props to Chauncey Billups. He's like, oh, yeah, you guys want to fire me? Do it. But I'm going to go take you out of the lottery and maybe make a play-in tournament and get Portland fans excited about Portland hoops. Then you fire me. Then do it.
They should not fire Chauncey Billups, man. He was handpicked by Damian Lillard, right? Remember that whole thing? So that did have. He was not handpicked by Joe Cronin, their current GM. He was handpicked by a player, Damian Lillard, who Joe Cronin had to trade because Dame wanted out. So I don't know how much love there is between Joe Cronin and Chauncey Billups. Joe Cronin has not yet been able to hire his guy. Chauncey Billups is not, as they say, his guy. But Chauncey Billups is, I think, a difference maker as a head coach. Players love him. I'm a big fan. He's been very friendly to me over the years. He's one of the nicest guys, man. Super humble, super down to earth. All right, Doc. Now,
what happened at Intuit tonight, bro?
What happened to your Clippers, bro? They ate a 25-point L tonight, 122-97. And folks, Powell played, Harden played, Zubats played, DJJ played, and Kawhi played. Okay, I mean, James Harden, go figure. Wow. Big game, Clippers, Lakers, and he sucked and choked once again. I mean, it's just so fucking predictable. 2 of 12 from the field. Doc, the only thing I got with this one is, a couple of things. Like, the Lakers are probably, puffy-chested knowing they've got Luka now, right? Like, damn, we just got Luka? Okay, so that's maybe reinvigorated all of them, right? They got the huge win at New York on Saturday night, and that was before Luka Doncic was acquired. But then here, and the other thing, Doc, is I think the Clippers might have been due for a game like this. They've been so good and so steady and so consistent. Maybe they were due for one of these clunkers.
Well, I think the Pacers scored 44 points in the entire first half tonight. The Lakers scored 45 points in the first quarter. They just came out running, and the Clippers got blitzed. And they didn't know what to do. It was 45-29 in the first quarter. And the Lakers never looked back. It was so bad. Bronny hit a 3 and played most of the fourth quarter, I believe. Half of it. He played 6 minutes. It was a bleep show, so to speak. And the Lakers just ran them out of the gym. I think it was just, I feel like the Clippers have been playing above their head all season. They were due for an off night, and they got it tonight. James Harden, 2 of 12. Good. Derrick Jones Jr., your second leading scorer. It was just a bad game all the way around. To watch. The Lakers are fired up. Luka was on the bench. Maybe it was the power of Luka, man.
I think it was the power of Luka. This is like an out-of-body experience type of thing for the Lakers. The Lakers have been owned by the Clippers head-to-head in this series over the last 5 years, okay? This is an absolutely shocking result. It was 45-29 at the end of the first quarter, and the game was over. Rui Hachimura, by the way, is he a must-add? No. For me, he's still a streamer, but he's a really good streamer, okay? 20 points and 6 rebounds tonight with 4 threes. LeBron had a really good stat line. It would have been better had the game been more competitive. 26, 8, and 9. Reeves, get it in while you can, young fella. 26 and 9. He is not going to do those stat lines when Luka takes over. Gabe Vincent double figures, Connect double figures. I think you had some guys kind of going for it. Rui and Reeves and the 2 guards off the bench. They're like, Luka ain't here yet. I got to get mine in and let it fly right now. So, in terms of like activation and fantasy spin, it's very, very standard and chalky on the Clippers side. Dorian Finney-Smith entered the Laker starting 5 tonight. Had a really Dudley game. 7 points, 4 rebounds, 1 3, no defense. And I streamed him in the Cam Dynasty tonight, so that's a letdown right there. And then I just want to have a brief Jackson Hayes conversation. I'm not a Jackson Hayes guy, okay? I've never been a Jackson Hayes guy. He has pump faked us so many times, going back to New Orleans. Ooh, so-and-so is hurt. Jackson Hayes is taking over. Ooh, he had 5 and 5 with a block, right? I mean, tonight, 6 and 6, 4 assists, which is probably a career high, 2 blocks and a steal. That's like a big stat line for Jackson Hayes. I'm just not a Jackson Hayes guy, bro. He played 24 minutes tonight. And so where are you at with Jackson Hayes? To me, he's a waiver wire guy. Are you thinking differently about that?
I'm never talking to Jackson Hayes again. He cost me $99 tonight. All he needed was a bucket. Just a bucket, dude. Come on. Just hit a shot, bro. Like, what, you miss a free throw? No, but Jackson Hayes was kind of useless. But Anthony Davis is gone. Jackson Hayes is it, man. It's Jackson Hayes and it's Jared Vanderbilt. You got corn oil, you got peanut oil. You can't tell a difference. Mm-mm. Neither one of them are any good. You sure as hell don't want to drink it. Rui Hachimura, I could not disagree with you more. I think he is a automatic must-have player, at least until we see how this shakes out. Luka's going to play on Saturday. So you got Luka, you got Austin Reeves, you got Jackson Hayes, you got LeBron James, you got Rui Hachimura. That's your starting 5. Dorian Finney-Smith is out. There's nobody on the bench big enough to knock Rui Hachimura out of his job. And every time Anthony Davis is gone, Rui goes off. And now he's got Luka throwing him lobs and Luka hitting him for open shots. I think Hachimura is going to be good. That's all I'm saying. Jackson Hayes, I don't know. I'm probably not messing with him again.
Understood. The lack of blocks and steals is a real problem for me with Rui Hachimura. I know he's going to score. I know he's going to hit threes. And for me, that's about it. And for me, that's a waiver wire guy. That's a streamer guy. Anyway, Doc, we have made it through a beautiful slate of games here on Tuesday night. Anything you got to say to the people before we get out of here?
Dalton Connect was 6 and 9 with 2 triples, 14 points. Keep an eye on that dude.
Keep an eye on Dalton Connect. For Hall of Famer Steve Alexander, for our great producer Andre Lamouche, I am Rick Kamla. Thank you all for tuning into the Fantasy NBA Today, Ethos After Dark. Remember, okay, the next time you see Doc and I, it's going to be Thursday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Me and Doc and Brew and a cast of thousands are going to take you through the whole NBA trade deadline day, okay? Again, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Thursday. You can hit us up on our YouTube channel, Fantasy NBA Today. And you can go to sportsethos.com as well. And this episode right here, folks, was proudly presented by Bet Online. See you soon.